Welcome into Steelers Latest, your daily spot for all news and information related to your Pittsburgh Steelers. Remember, like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy all the content to stay up to date with everything Steelers. But let's get rolling. As Gary Dallek of the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette has reported on another agreement between the Steelers and a big name star on contract, and this one being TJ Watt. The agreement is that we'll get the deal done in the next couple months. I'm kind of really over this lackadaisical approach to signing big name players, and especially someone in house like TJ Watt. Like, let's lock down our guys first. We shouldn't have to wait a year for the market to get boosted up because of a big deal in Cleveland, and then we're forced to pay more. If we were putting some hustle into locking down our key defensive piece. 1-10 without him throughout his career. 1-10 in games he hasn't played. That's the Steelers record. 1-10. We're dog shit without him. So I don't understand what we're doing. Why the approach is so. Well, go with the flow. Go with the flow. Set it out. Aaron Rodgers style. We're gonna chillax, and we'll wait and see on if a deal gets done in the next couple months. Because all the reports so far about deals getting done have really not been too reliable. So that's the good news. That's our positive signs on TJ Watt that there's a handshake agreement once again between the Steelers and a player. On yeah, this will get done. Yeah, we'll take our time, but this will get done. That is what's been said. But let's move on. We've talked about JuJu Smith and his trade rumors to the Steelers. Guess what? Not happening. Adam Scheffler was the one that reported last Friday on the Steelers possibly being interested in someone like JuJu Smith. Ian Rappaport now, though, throwing some shade, is saying this is highly unlikely and that he thinks this is more of a money play for JuJu Smith. Shout out to the dude in the comments last Friday who said he's doing this for money. I saw you. Don't forget about you. But saying it's more of a money move, trying to work a contract with the Dolphins. His contract is up after the end of the year. Never made sense, in my opinion, him coming to Pittsburgh. We already got two tight ends in Pat Fryermuth and Darnell Washington. We just got to use Darnell Washington a little bit more in the pass game. But we already got two tight ends. I just don't think tight end is such a you're so reliant on the scheme of the offense to draw you up and get you plays, get you reps where you're touching the ball. And I don't trust Arthur Smith to do that with one tight end and to give him two solid receiving tight ends. I definitely don't trust him to scheme it up to get our two guys enough touches every game. So never made sense in my opinion. And it's just not a winning formula to be paying two upper end tight ends big money. That's not going to win you Super Bowls. And I don't think you can look throughout the history of the NFL and see two big name tight ends winning a bowl. I mean, the last thing I can remember, Gronk and Aaron Hernandez, they made it to the bowl, didn't win it. There's not a winning formula in the NFL. But let's talk about George Pickens now, because George Pickens is flexing weirdly on us, flexing very weirdly, as he fell for the Twitter trolls. Someone posted a montage of all his drops, all his drops in Pittsburgh. Pretty brutal. He fell for it, and he responded with, "He forced his way out, buddy. They were gladly going to keep me. They were gladly keeping me." Once again, weird flex to be like, "Yeah, force my way out of there." That just doesn't make sense to me. It is a weird thing to say. I don't know why an organization would want to take a chance on a guy that has a history of forcing his way out when hard times approach him. He was being demoted to wide receiver 2 this year. It seemed like Pittsburgh was going in a different direction at wide receiver after we signed DK to such a massive deal after trading for him. But I don't know. And everyone pretty much assumed George Pickens was the one that forced his way out. Like, I don't think the Steelers were like, let's get rid of one of the best, one of the highest potential wide receivers in the league right now. That's just something NFL teams usually don't do. Maybe we were over the antics, but we usually have a very long leash when it comes to wide receivers and shenanigans. So that's all I'm saying. I'm pretty sure all the fans, the whole coaching staff, the whole front office wanted George Pickens, but like you said, he forced his way out of Pittsburgh. And now we don't have to deal with the head case of George Pickens. And he belongs in Dallas, where head cases always go, it seems like. They always end up in Dallas. But let's finish today's show up with a way too early mock draft I just saw. Ryan Wilson released his 1.0 2026 mock draft. And he did this assuming Arch Manning doesn't commit to the 2026 draft, which gives me hope because not a big fan of the quarterback he has us getting. He has us taking Fernando Mendoza, now of Indiana. He transferred there in this transfer window. He was at Cal the previous 2 years. Now, I'm not going to say that I watch a lot of college football, but from what I've seen, stats wise, I'm not really too impressed by what Mendoza has put onto paper. Maybe in the game, maybe if I watch the games, he's a field general out there and he's commanding the offense. But he is a high completion guy. That's something we tend to go after as Steelers. Not a big touchdown guy. Highest touchdowns in his previous 2 years was 16. But he doesn't turn the ball over too much last year. Only 6 INTs in that season. So it's not too awful. So Fernando Mendoza being to us. Not a needle mover, I don't think. I think that once again, that's kind of Kenny Pickett-ish. Like I'm not seeing the high franchise guy potential in someone like Mendoza, but definitely someone to for me and all you fans to keep an eye out on next year if you haven't been watching too much college football, because he could be the next quarterback of our Pittsburgh Steelers. So, with that, this has been Steelers Latest. I've been your host, Cole Denis, and I will see you tomorrow.